30 days ago, I made myself a promise that I almost broke on day 2. No paid software, no premium subscriptions, no secret pro version hiding behind a paywall. Just 5 free AI tools, real ones that anyone watching this right now can open in a browser tonight, and one simple question. Could they actually replace the way I work, or are they just clever demos designed to get you hooked before asking for your credit card? By the end of the first week, I had already deleted 3 hours of work I thought was finished. By the end of the month, something strange happened. I stopped reaching for the tools I used to pay for, and I think once you hear what actually happened, you might do the same thing. Here is why this matters more than just another tech experiment. Every single day, there is a new headline about artificial intelligence taking over jobs, replacing creativity, replacing thinking itself. But almost nobody actually sits down and tests the free versions, the ones regular people, students, small business owners, and side hustlers are most likely to use. Everyone reviews the expensive, flashy versions made for big companies with big budgets. I wanted to know what happens when you strip all of that away and just use what is sitting right there for free. No excuses, no premium upgrade, no shortcuts. If this kind of honest, no-fluff testing is something you actually want more of, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel, AI Unlocked Official, is built entirely around finding out what these tools can really do, not what their marketing pages promise. And if you are even a little curious where this experiment ends up, smashing that like button helps more than you would think, because it tells me you want to see exactly which of these 5 free tools earned a permanent spot in my workflow and which one I deleted before the month was even over. The first tool I committed to was the one almost everyone has already heard of, but very few people actually use to its full potential, the free version of ChatGPT. I decided to use it the way a busy person actually would, not for fun experiments, but for real tasks. Writing emails I was dreading, organizing a messy week of appointments, even brainstorming captions for a small online store I help run on the side. Within the first 3 days, something surprising happened. The free version, the one with no extra cost attached, was handling about 80% of the writing tasks I used to spend close to an hour on every single day. Not perfectly. It still needed editing, still needed a human voice layered on top. But the blank page problem, the thing that quietly steals so much of our time, almost completely disappeared. Just when I thought I understood what this tool could do, something unexpected happened around day 5. I asked it to help me think through a problem I was stuck on for almost a week, a scheduling conflict between 2 projects that seemed impossible to solve. Instead of just spitting out generic advice, it asked me questions back, almost like a coworker trying to understand the real issue before jumping to a solution. That moment changed how I saw the entire experiment, because I realized I was not just testing a writing tool anymore. I was testing something closer to a thinking partner, and that is a very different category of tool entirely. The second free AI tool I brought into the experiment lived inside a place most people do not expect artificial intelligence to be hiding, a design platform called Canva. Most people know Canva for templates and quick graphics, but tucked inside the free version are AI-powered features that quietly do things that used to require real design skills or expensive software. I used it to remove backgrounds from photos in seconds, generate quick visual concepts for thumbnails, and resize content automatically for different platforms without manually adjusting a single pixel. What surprised me most was not the speed, although that alone saved me roughly 4 to 5 hours across the month. It was the fact that the free tier, the one with $0 attached, was good enough that I genuinely forgot at certain points that I used to pay for similar tools just a year earlier. But here's where the experiment took a turn I did not expect. Around the second week, I started noticing a pattern across every tool I tested, something nobody really talks about openly. These free tools are not actually free in the way we usually think about free. They are free in time, but they cost you something else entirely: your patience for learning a new rhythm. The first few days with any new tool felt clunky, almost frustrating, because my brain wanted to work the old way. It was only after pushing through that initial friction that the real-time savings showed up. That single realization completely changed how I look at productivity tools going forward. And I think it is the part most reviews never mention. The third tool I tested lived inside video editing, something that used to intimidate me completely before this month. CapCut, free on both desktop and mobile, includes AI features like automatic captions, background removal, and even voice enhancement that used to require professional editing software and real technical skill. I used it to edit short clips for a friend's small business, work that previously would have taken me close to 2 hours per video using traditional editing methods. With the AI-assisted features inside the free version, that same task dropped to under 30 minutes more than once. Imagine spending years assuming video editing required expensive software and years of practice, only to discover a free tool quietly closing that gap in a matter of days. By the third week of this experiment, I noticed something happening to my own expectations, something almost a little uncomfortable to admit. I had stopped being impressed by basic AI features and started expecting them. Tasks that felt revolutionary on day 1 felt completely normal by day 20. That shift says less about the tools themselves and more about how quickly human beings adapt to new capabilities once we have them in our hands, which honestly says a lot about where all of this is heading next. The fourth tool brought a completely different kind of value into the mix, one focused less on creating and more on organizing, something almost every person watching this struggles with at some point. Notion, specifically its built-in free AI assistant, became the tool I used to summarize long documents, turn messy notes into clear action steps, and even draft simple project outlines without starting from a blank page. What stood out here was not raw creative power, but how it quietly removed the mental exhaustion of organizing scattered thoughts. There is a specific kind of tired that comes from staring at a messy list of tasks with no clear starting point. And for the first time in years, that particular kind of tired barely showed up during the final 2 weeks of the test. The fifth and final tool, Perplexity AI, free version, became something I genuinely did not expect to rely on as heavily as I did. A research assistant that pulled real, sourced information instead of vague guesses. Whenever I needed quick, accurate context on something unfamiliar, whether it was a statistic, a historical fact, or a current event, this became the first place I checked, often faster than a traditional search engine cluttered with ads and unrelated links. By day 30, this tool alone had quietly replaced a habit I had carried for over a decade. So after 30 full days, no paid upgrades, no hidden premium trials, here is what actually happened. Out of the 5 tools, 4 of them earned a permanent place in how I work. Not because they were flashy, but because they consistently saved real time on real tasks. Only one struggled to keep up once the tasks became more complex, proving that even inside the free tier, not every tool is created equal. What this experiment really revealed, though, goes deeper than just which app performed better. It revealed something about us as people in this exact moment in history. We are standing at a point where access to powerful tools is no longer about money. It is about whether you are willing to spend a little time learning how to use what is already sitting right in front of you for free. That is the part almost nobody talks about. The barrier was never really the price tag. The real barrier has always been curiosity, the willingness to actually open the tool, push through that first clumsy week, and give it a real chance instead of assuming the free version could not possibly be good enough. 30 days ago, I assumed exactly that. And 30 days later, I was proven completely wrong in the best possible way. So here's what I want to know from you. Out of these 5 tools, which one are you most curious to try for yourself? And have you already tested any of them in your own work or daily life? Drop it in the comments, because some of the best discoveries on this channel have come directly from viewers who tried something I missed entirely. And if this experiment saved you from wasting your own 30 days figuring this out the hard way, send it to someone who still thinks every useful AI tool comes with a price tag attached, because that single share might save them more time than they realize. In the end, the real lesson from this month was not about artificial intelligence at all. It was about how often we assume something is out of reach simply because we never bothered to check, and how the most powerful tools in our hands right now might already be free, just waiting for someone curious enough to actually press play.